It is Sunday afternoon, which means time for our Sunday sit-down conversation today with Phillies left fielder Austin Hays joining us here. And first time for us to get a chance to really talk with you and sit with you. So I'm looking forward to this. Thanks for being here. Let's start here. You've been here a couple of weeks. You've settled into this clubhouse. You've contributed out there on the field. How are things feeling for you right now?
Feeling really good. My family's settled in. They're loving it here. I'm loving the clubhouse. I'm loving the energy. Out here for BP every day. We always got a DJ going. That's awesome. It's a really fun group of guys. Fantasy football's coming up, so I'm excited to be a part of that. And then obviously the product on the field is really good. One of the best records in all of baseball, so I'm really happy to be here.
Let me ask you, because you came from Baltimore, which is a really good team as well, a team that has World Series aspirations. I know talent is the same, in terms of winning teams. Got to have talent. But is there anything else that's similar between the Orioles and the Phillies, teams that expect to win and win a lot? Is there anything that you see that connect the two?
I think the biggest thing I've seen is the confidence that players have in themselves. I think that's why the Orioles are such a good team, and they've been such a good team for the last couple years. It might not be a superstar, giant contracts all over the field, but that's how guys carry themselves, and they believe in themselves that way. So obviously you come over to a place like this where guys have thousands of games under their belts, a lot of career accolades. They've achieved a lot. So I think that comes with the confidence, knowing you can do it because you have done it. You've done it before. You've done it quite a few times. So I'd say that's the similarities. You just have a younger group, probably like this group of guys in the early parts of their career when they were young and hungry and super confident in themselves. It's just a lot more experience over here, but I'd say it's just a confidence thing. That's the biggest similarity between the two.
This game can be so humbling. It's a game of failure. Confidence is such an important part of what you guys do on a daily basis. You've done it here at the highest level. You've been an all-star in Major League Baseball, so you obviously can draw from those experiences. Coming into a new experience like this, you feel as though you've settled in nicely in terms of, hey, I fit in well here and I can really contribute.
Yeah, I'm excited to come in and have the opportunity to be starting and be in the lineup every night. The injury was unfortunate, missing a couple weeks, so I'm just trying to get rolling again. I feel like I've had good competitive at-bats, and fastball timing seems like it's there. So it's just a matter of getting into a rhythm of those at-bats and getting into a rhythm of the game. But I feel really good where I'm at, and that's where the confidence comes from. You know when you're on the verge of getting hot, or you know how the at-bats feel. Even if the numbers aren't quite there yet, you know that your at-bats are there, and there's a lot of confidence that comes with that. So I'm very confident with where I am personally, and what I feel like I can bring to the team every single night, whether I'm in left field or hitting in the 9-hole, whatever it is. I feel confident that I can contribute to the team and help them win.
Let me take you back, because you're drafted in 2016, played in college, drafted in 2016, and made your debut in 2017. That's not something we hear all the time. How was that experience quickly through the minor leagues and playing big league ball just a year out of college?
Yeah, it was crazy. I got drafted in 2016, played short season, and then I started out the next year, skipped low A, and I started in high A. I went into double A at the half. And then I got called up from AA to the big league. So I was in a locker room at Jacksonville University playing for the Dolphins. And 1 year later, I was in the big leagues with Adam Jones and Machado and Trumbo and Zach Britton. I mean, it was J.J. Hardy. Scopey had a crazy year that year. I mean, the entire team were all-stars and just proven bona fide big league guys. It was a really fun experience to have that happen so quick. I just kind of kept my head down, and I showed up early, and I didn't say a whole lot. I just put my work in, and I tried to learn as much as I could and just watch how guys went about their business. I was still just trying to learn what it was like to play every day in the big leagues. I'd never really done it before. That was my first full minor league season. So to start where I did and then make it to the big leagues, it was a unique experience, but it was awesome. I learned a lot that year.
As you tell that story, I can see you recollecting, you're looking around and probably thinking big league ballparks all of a sudden, 1 year removed from college. It has to be kind of a surreal experience, and I would imagine an exciting one, but a challenging one as well, right?
Yeah, the game is the same. Obviously, the mound's the same distance, the bases are the same, distances are about the same. But they call it the show for a reason. There's a lot more that comes with it. There's a lot more people in the stands. There's cameras. You're answering questions you never answered before. So it's a part of the game that there's a little bit of a learning curve, and you go through those experiences and you learn how to take on all the other stuff outside of the lines. I think that's probably the biggest adjustment. But once you get between the lines, you're just competing and you're playing the game you've played your whole lives. But that was probably the biggest change in learning curve, was all the other stuff that comes with that.
Yeah, it's what you have to convince yourself of each and every day, right? It's just the same game, although it doesn't maybe feel like it until you step out there on the field. All right, let me take you back even further, because you grew up in Florida. Was baseball your only sport? Were you an athlete across the board? What were you doing before you knew baseball was going to be your path?
Baseball and football. I really liked football. I got to the age where when you get to high school, I wanted to pursue baseball. I wanted to try to play college baseball. So that's when you start hearing, hey, you got to play travel ball, you got to play year-round if you're going to get a scholarship. So I stopped playing football and just went baseball full time. And I really wanted to pursue playing D1 somewhere. I didn't get that opportunity my first year, so I ended up just going to a junior college, and then was able to make it to D1 and play there after the JUCO season.
I always like to try and guess position when guys tell me that they played other sports. So, wide receiver? Were you a wide receiver? I mean, in high school, I could see you as a wide out, right?
It kind of just depended on the play. I played a little bit of wide receiver. I liked playing corner. I played a lot of corner and running back, just depending on what we were doing. So, kind of played everywhere on the field.
You mentioned you went through junior college and then got the opportunity at the Division I. There's a lesson in that as well, right? I mean, when you think about the path to get to the big leagues, it's not always a straight one. For most guys, it's not. It's that perseverance that allows you to keep fighting and get to where you want to be, right?
Yeah. You didn't hear a whole lot of good things about junior college when I was in high school, but you make it to the big leagues and there's quite a few guys that you play with that were JUCO guys, whether they went to JUCO first and then went to a bigger school after that, or they just got drafted out of JUCO, especially in Florida. There's a lot of really good JUCO baseball to be played there, and you go in right away with the opportunity to play and get experience under your belt and get college at bats, and you might not get that going to a bigger D1 school. So I'm really happy I made that choice to go there, even if it wasn't my choice. I wanted to go to D1, I just didn't really have any options. But yeah, JUCO was awesome. I really love that, and I preach that to, you said Spruce Creek High School, so I still go back there quite a bit. I trained there my first 5 off seasons. I just train at my high school. So I tell those kids all the time, like, hey man, you don't have to go to the big flashy D1 school to be able to have a career in baseball. And I've had a lot of teammates that are in the big leagues and they were JUCO bandits,
Countless all-stars, same path. There's no doubt about it if you go back and look, for sure. All right, so all-star in 2023, or 2023, yeah. And you've done a couple of cool things in your career, just like those little accomplishments, but you hit for the cycle. You hit inside the park home run in this ballpark. Kind of fun accomplishments. That inside the park home run, it was during the COVID year, if I'm not mistaken, right? No fans in the crowd. What do you remember about that moment here?
I remember I didn't have a home run on the season, and that was my first one. So when that video will pop up on my timeline or whatever every now and then, and it's always me touching home plate, and I'm looking at the dugout going, that was my first one. I waited the whole season to hit my first homer, and I couldn't even hit it over the fence. So that's probably what I remember the most about it. I had a long streak without one.
What about the cycle? I didn't go back and look. What was the final hit that you needed to get the cycle?
So the cycle game was against the Nationals. It was in Camden Yards. It was 4 at-bats in 6 innings. Wow. It was a rain-shortened game. We had 2 rain delays. I had the 3 hits. I needed the double, and we had a rain delay, so it didn't look like we were going to come back out. We already had the lead, and I thought there was a good chance they were going to bang the game. So we were able to go back out. I was facing Cishek, submarine righty. He threw me a slider, and it was still pouring rain. I hit a double to left center. And I just looked up at the sky. I was like, oh, thank God. And they called the game like right after that. So a lot of things kind of had to go right for that to happen. But yeah, the double was the last hit to complete it.
Same as what Weston needed. Again, he got the advice from Bryce, just keep on running, get to second, right?
I know. I think it was it's against the same team, and I think Corbin might have started the game that Weston hit for the cycle. So I know for sure it was the Nationals, but I'm not sure if Corbin started that game, but I think he might have. So it's kind of funny how that works.
All right, before I let you go, I always like to end on some light notes, some fun questions. So let me hit you with a couple of these quick hitters. You went to Spruce Creek High School, which we talked about. Ryan Lochte, one of the great Olympians of all time, 6 gold medals, also a swimmer, came from that high school. But I'm going to switch it up a little bit. If you had an opportunity to participate in the Winter Olympics, what sport could you compete for a gold medal in?
I don't know if I could compete for it. What I would like to do, because I think it's awesome, is snowboarding, where they're actually in the pipe. Super cool to watch. I like how everything's baggy and they look like they're barely even trying. They're flying 30 feet in the air. I've skied before. I've never tried snowboarding, so that's something that I would enjoy, I think.
All right, snowboarder. I like it. All right, from Port Orange, Florida. I'm sorry. That's like a NASCAR hotbed. It's close to Daytona Beach, so I guess there's a lot of NASCAR folks that came out of there. So I want you to put together a NASCAR team from your teammates in here in the clubhouse. You need a crew chief, you need a driver, and you need the lug nut guy. Who are you going with?
Yeah, Daytona 500 is it's close by. Went there a decent amount as a kid. My dad liked racing, so crew chief. You probably need a starting pitcher who is on top of everything. They stick to their guns. But I probably would go with JT, just because I feel like he mans the starting pitching staff really well. Does a good job of staying on top of all his reports and everything. So he'd do a good job managing the crew. We need 2 more guys.
Driver and a lug nut guy.
Ooh, the driver. Estevez is our closer. He throws gas. He's a big guy, so he might slow the car down a little bit, but you got to take the guy that throws the hardest to drive the car the fastest. And I guess I would have Strom. I feel like Strom would probably be a guy that would be pretty good with cars, so I'd have him actually changing the tires, changing the lug nuts, whatever we need to do.
All right, I love it. Sounds like a winning team. All right, finally, I know you're a TV guy. You enjoy watching some TV, probably on the plane, that kind of thing. Best TV show you've watched in the last year or so?
I've been really into the Netflix kind of documentaries they've been doing in the different sports. I really liked the tennis one, the Breaking Point. That was good. The golf one was good. But Receiver was the one I watched most recently that I really liked that. I'm a big Amon-Ra St. Brown fan after kind of watching that show, so I thought that was really good. Hopefully they'll come out with another season of that.
All right, there you go. Receiver on Netflix. Check it out. Austin, appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the season, and look forward to watching you play.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Austin Hayes, our guest. We'll take a quick break, but more to come, so stay with us on the Phillies Radio Network.